Everybody's joining in. Everybody's joining.
Hi guys, Happy New Year. This is the Revisit Project and we've got Vrnda the Soul Queen Dhar, Birraj Singh Taneja, Varun the Groove Rajashekharan, the Fender Bender Kanu Gangahar and Karan the Backbone Vadwa. My name is Abhay and today the first topic is who's on your Mount Rushmore of music. And इसमें जनरली 4 लोग होते हैं माउंट रशमोर पे. हम लोग ने 5 भी कर सकते हैं. जब मैं 5 कर
सिर्फ आपने 5 कर
हम 3 करेंगे.
अच्छा ठीक है, ओके मैं 5 करूँगा. 5 करूँगा.
माउंट रशमोरिश.
अच्छा, who will start? Vrnda. Tell us, तेरे माउंट रशमोर कौन-कौन है?
Yeah, so I feel at the moment it's Nepal and it's Anderson Park and it's Aretha Franklin and it's Shaka Khan.
ठीक है, तो तीनों चारों लोग काफी similar background basically.
Yeah, that's true. I think primarily what's common here is that they've all been brought up on gospel music, which is what I've been brought up on. So that consonance, you know, it really reeks. Like it's very evident in the kind of music they do. And I mean, when you talk about new soul, it's primarily grounded in gospel music. So that's probably why whenever I listen to something, I would always look for something gospel. And I mean subliminally. So that's about it. Yeah.
So क्या कौन-कौन है इसमें? Anderson Park, Shaka Khan and Napalm. So Shaka Khan is the start of it all.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin and Shaka Khan and and I absolutely love Napalm. Like right now I'm like bonkers about
Favorite song?
Crossfire and Homebody and and she's actually worked on this rendition of Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland, which is originally it's been composed by Jimi Hendrix. Again, so Jimi Hendrix, he comes from gospel, he comes from soul. So yeah, and I absolutely love the rendition that she's worked on. Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland? And love Needle Paw. It's amazing.
Needle Paw.
Needle Paw, yeah, that's what her album is called.
That's what you also like that album, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Full on love for that album.
Yeah, totally.
सही है. Anderson Park का देखो क्या पसंद है? Because I think all of us love Anderson Park.
Malibu, I mean, I really.
The whole album is crazy.
ये तो पूरा ही मतलब he's
It's
mad about it.
amazing. Plus Free Nationals like backing Anderson to.
They released a new
Their
album
album
also.
Yeah, they
In
did.
19 only. I
19,
guess.
Yeah,
last
they
year.
did.
Free Nationals में कौन-कौन है?
Anderson Park का band. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
They basically
the
collaborate
names.
with a lot of artists. Like,
Achha.
I mean, there's Max
Basically
Miller.
rhythm
Max
section
Miller.
Mac Miller.
Mac Miller. Max
Max
Payne.
Miller.
And Mac Miller. Yeah, so there's
Shout out to Mac.
Max Miller like
yeah, so there's like Mac Miller and there's
Anderson Park.
Kali. Yeah, Anderson
Kali
Park.
Uchis. Kali Uchis.
Yeah. Oh my
Kali
god.
is so good, yeah. Kali is
She's
so
so good.
Yeah.
There's this track called Time. It's pretty good.
She has a great track with Bootsy also. Bootsy was really good.
Kali Uchis का.
Kali Uchis.
Say it. So it's majorly like a soul
Kali Uchis.
gospel
Soul,
Mount
gospel,
Rushmore for you.
funk.
And you're a singer, so like all these artists
It works.
have
Yeah,
influenced you
definitely.
with
Yeah.
your singing.
Yeah. Plus, I'm getting into Coltrane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, transcribe it.
Kinda trying to, but it's not clearly working out because it's damn difficult. Like, I don't know where to, like how to.
From Soul Train to Cold Train. But ठीक है. Karan? कौन है तेरा कौन है?
विराज से पूछ रहा है.
Mount Rushmore, bro.
You're not in a class right now. Yeah.
बोलना.
I have Jaco, obviously.
Because you're a bass player.
नहीं. Because मैं banjo बजाता हूँ सर आपके band. Jaco, John Mayer, Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Judeski drugs.
And Rahman, obviously.
So Jaco.
Jaco, John Mayer, Tedeschi Trucks, Rahman. Jaco, John Mayer, Tedeschi Trucks, Rahman.
क्यों Jaco से शुरुआत आपने क्यों की?
Because Jaco is the best. Jaco is my god. When it comes to bass play, it's just musicality, everything. Like he can make the bass sing, and that's pretty hard to do.
True.
Making an instrument sing. Jaco's first album has Teen Town, right? Jaco has Teen Town. He's played drums also.
No,
on
it's
that.
not the first.
I mean,
Black
Jaco-
Market is the first album he played on.
जाको की पहले album में Weather Report
Black
भी maybe Teen Town नहीं है.
Yeah, exactly.
Teen
बाबरी कोस्ट है यार, ले ले.
नहीं, but Teen Town, he's played drums also. He's recorded drums on Teen Town also.
Recorded drums, yeah.
मतलब बंदा कमाल है यार. How can you not
बंदा कमाल.
put
He's
him
the
on that
greatest.
pedestal? He's the best. I wish he lived. ताकि कुछ और देखने को मिलता हमें. But yeah, then Jaco, then John Mayer primarily for songwriting, because I love how he puts down his lyrics and the way he constructs melodies and everything. Obviously, he's a great guitar player.
There's a whole
Continuum is
podcast
my
about
favorite.
it. Please watch it.
Good one.
Yeah, Continuum is my favorite album. Actually, Continuum और जो उसकी पहली EP है, Inside Wants Out. मतलब मैं काफी उदास होता हूँ तो वो सुनता हूँ.
Yeah. It fits.
It's the best thing. It's the best thing. And there's a special mention to Theo Katzman also. Songwriting wise, yeah, he's amazing. The lyric writing is also so good. And then Derek Trucks and Tedeschi Trucks. This is for basically Derek Trucks और Tedeschi Trucks का skill level बहुत खतरनाक है यार. मतलब Tedeschi Trucks की आवाज, वो Tedeschi Trucks की आवाज.
Susan
Tedeschi
पर उसका
की
बोलने वाला था.
पूरा नाम तो यही होगा ना.
हाँ,
Susan
Tedeschi Trucks.
तो सही है.
Unless she did not choose to keep her.
ठीक है.
But she is.
ऐसी बातें कर लो मतलब.
Yeah, so मतलब the way she sings and the way he plays guitar, it's out of the world. It's very hard to not like it.
I literally hear him playing right now.
Yeah, dude, it's the best. Midnight in Harlem is my favorite song.
Bro, check. Tinnitus
हो गया.
There's an album, Let Me Get By.
Oh man.
There's a live album called Everybody's Talking. There's an album Made Up Mind. ये तीन albums बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे हैं इनकी. And there's this album by Derek Trucks called Songlines. That album is too much.
But हाँ, that was instrumentally amazing.
हाँ, वो instrument. नहीं उसमें vocals भी हैं.
वही vocals.
There's like half. It's Revisit.
Half a
Revisit.
half of it. ठीक है.
Yeah. And then we have रहमान. क्योंकि मैंने बचपन से मतलब रहमान ही सुना. मम्मी ने ताल सुनाई थी.
मैंने पकड़ ली.
और पापा को लगता है कि ताल के बाद रहमान ने कुछ नहीं किया.
Which is also true.
Which is not true, but yeah.
For some of us. ठीक है.
He's the best.
तेरा रश्म दो रश्म हमने देख लिए हैं.
क्या बात है.
आपका क्या है भैया?
इनका नाम हो रहा है.
By the way, let's welcome Birraj Singh Taneja back.
Please stop moving, man.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Sorry यार.
That's so bad.
यार पोस्ट में संभाल लेंगे.
And काफी टाइम से Birraj has been avoiding the podcasts because he was gathering
busy,
information.
yeah. Oh damn.
He's been busy. Yeah.
He was gathering
तो
information.
if you were busy, what the fuck?
हम क्या कहते थे?
अपा की कर रहे थे. Birraj.
Yeah. So like 4 names. Okay. So first I put जल्दी.
Shit
List.
नाम.
Franz Liszt.
Yeah, and I put Friedrich Chopin, and then Corey Henry, and Oscar Peterson.
Oh man, all piano players, keyboard
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
तो लिस्ट से शुरू करते हैं.
List से start करते हैं.
The first rock star of modern world.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So like so I had like a very classical background. I had like that formal classical training, and that's why I was exposed to this at a very young age.
Sure.
And then like Liszt was always like this, composer who's extremely hard to play and extremely, it's up there. You can't like just start getting into Liszt and all that. So it was always,
You have
very
to get enlisted.
Good one.
yeah. It was very, technically challenging and all that. So shuru mein you were like, shit, this is like what I want to do, what I want to play like, and this is who I want to be. Because like you said, he was the first rock star. He had like a huge following. So that is what I like.
He's the one who started the whole rock star
Yeah.
vibe, he'll पेगा अपने कॉन्सर्ट पे चल जाए. हाँ, like he was very.
There was story that girls used to cut his hair and take it home.
What? That's
Like a whole
That's
thing.
insane charisma.
है उसका था उसका.
Really?
दिखने में भी ऐसा था.
That reminds me of Charles Manson.
Not the right person to talk about.
Charles Manson, the killer.
Yeah,
He did not
I
kill,
totally
but,
dig him.
You dig him?
Like, I mean,
We should say.
Hello, camera.
We should find out more about Charles Manson. Let's do this.
no, that's not happening.
But ठीक है.
Oh my
So
God.
Liszt
Getting
and
fun.
Charles Manson. Okay. काफी बड़ी मतलब.
I mean,
That's quite the Rushmore.
By the way, Charles Manson recorded songs. He was
yeah, he was. Girls were like all over him because
But this is true.
he had a
And all over the.
I would like to.
the
Guys, let's not discuss that.
I feel like you need to start associating people to their bigger achievements. Like mass murder.
But Charles Manson did not kill anyone.
Yeah, he did not kill anyone.
that's
Charles
the
did
thing.
That's
He
the worst.
instrumentalized passions, and that's just
भाई Mount Rushmore हो रहा है अभी.
ठीक है, okay. we are hijacking Birraj's statements.
France list.
Yeah.
ठीक है, list.
And it's like there's this one piece, Liebestrom. I think it's the most famous piece. Yeah, that's what I played when I finished my grades and all that.
Hungarian Rhapsody or
Hungarian Rhapsody काफी सही है. But that's also like it's a 10-minute piece and just 10-12-minute piece. It's just next level. मतलब you need to study this for like 12-15 years to just be able to play that
Damn.
stuff.
And even as a listener, you're enthralled every time you listen to them.
For sure. Yeah.
Then who else is on the
List के बाद Chopin, another classical composer.
So Chopin became popular post his death, है ना? Like people
I mean, there were
posthumously.
posthumously, but there were like some pieces became popular posthumously, but there were all like he was also famous during.
Was he because he never performed, is it? Like he was only famous among his students. That's what I've heard from classical pianists.
Even I'm not sure.
That's what the rumor has it that he was not into performing. He was only into teaching apparently.
Yeah, I think
But list, Chopin. Who would you like?
Oh,
I mean, not choose, but
it was Chopin.
Not choose,
Not choose, but choose.
Okay. I say Chopin is more accessible.
Chopin. Huh.
So
Accessible playing wise?
no, as a listener, like general people will appreciate Chopin more than Liszt.
General
because we're like a general audience. But that's a good question. I think I'll choose Chopin.
Chopin.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of beautiful melodies, and he was primarily known for his melody writing and nocturnes.
So yeah, and who else do you have on the?
Corey Henry.
Sure.
Corey Henry recently so Snarky Puppy mein this like that solo got me.
The greatest solo. Oh man, the greatest solo.
Yeah, that is the greatest solo ever.
The
For sure.
greatest solo ever.
That is what got me into Corey Henry, and like the album he just released, Art of Love. उसमें
Oh man.
Traded All is just beautiful, and the solo section is that. I mean, I listened to it.
तो पागल हो गया basically.
हर दिन तो सुनता हूँ एक बार.
Oh.
जब से आया था. Yeah.
मेरा in the water है उस album में.
Oh.
Now that's actually a very good solo. And Corey Henry and
Oscar Peterson.
Oscar Peterson because तो वो stride कर रहा है.
Blues. Stride blues, just everything about stride piano and blues, and Oscar Peterson's licks and his riffs are just
Very tasty.
yeah, extremely tasty.
Considered one of the most difficult guys to transcribe.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
है ना? बहुत मुश्किल है. Like he was completely opposite
He's
of
American.
हाँ,
Yeah,
American.
American.
During Bill Evans, but very एकदम opposite of Bill Evans. Like you can hear that.
Yeah,
he's
Bill Evans is
mad.
more chill, more
Yeah.
mellow, and Oscar
More
Peterson is
classical.
just shedding.
Tasty shit. Shredding.
Yeah.
Shedding guitars to shed also is to teach also, which is cool.
Yeah.
Say that's actually a pretty मतलब neat Rushmore.
यहाँ पे सिर्फ कीबोर्ड प्लेयर्स अलाउड हैं.
ठीक है. Religiously following their music, that is.
Yeah.
You've been. सही है. Who else wants to go now? Next.
I feel like you want me to go next since you're looking at me. Okay, fine.
And silence पे भी कर लीजिए अगर आपके phone.
हाँ, please.
मेरा फोन साइलेंट पे होता नहीं, करिए. ठीक है.
बाहर रख दिया करो.
ठीक है. Go ahead.
Okay, fine.
तू दिख नहीं रहा. आगे
अच्छा.
Kanu
So
नहीं
the first one would be Hendrix. Easy choice. Songwriter,
Seconded.
best guitar player, revolutionary in terms of technique, and though Zappa started the wah thing, I feel like Hendrix really killed it for me. Then next would be Stevie Ray Vaughan, best blues, like someone who was far superior to his predecessor also. Like I'm just taking Albert King as that person because he was very close to Albert King, but like in terms of the chronological like progression of blues players,
Hendrix,
but like no, it was the fact that Stevie really jumped the gun when you compare him to how Albert King was. Like there's some televised concerts where they play together and stuff, and like I don't want to sound crass, but like you can see
The
there
difference.
the difference and the expansion of like concepts by Stevie. So he gets to be up there. Then Kendrick Lamar gets to be up there. Because like
You wanna do
no
your
question,
list?
yeah, absolutely no question
End
about
the
it.
list
Like,
मेरा
like
पांचवा
dude,
बंदा वही था.
totally worth it. हम 4 करे 5 करे. Okay,
Four.
fine. I've got 3 right now. No, so Kendrick gets to be there. Next level, like revolutionized.
The last
rap
decade is
music.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, brought back gangster rap in like a whole new way. Best production in terms of like how hip hop is going, and then Kendrick's there. Then after this,
Influencing a whole generation, man.
yeah, absolutely. So unique and like so abstract in terms of his inspirations and stuff. Like really works. And like if you see, he has a really good interview with Rick Rubin where he talks about his process and stuff, and like you can really tell that he lives this shit.
Send me the link.
Like he lives it. It is really really good. The amount of dedication that he puts into it, it's impressive. I like Kendrick. So that's 3. Now 4th, I would say would have to be not Napalm but Hiatus as a band. I feel like their arrangements are something that still blow my mind. I was playing guitar yesterday and I was jamming to some of Choose Your Weapon. Just really good. It is simple and digestible, but like if you really start uncovering it, it is so like intricately put together. And the fact that they are themselves recording, arranging, producing, whatever sub that band does it themselves. So I really like I appreciate that a lot. That's really really good.
I really thought you would say RHCP also.
I would, but they're like my oasis. I love them, but I'm guilty about it.
क्या बात कर रहा है?
I would put, plus I wouldn't put the whole band there. If I was going to put John Frusciante there. So that
And
would be
Will
my-
Ferrell.
And, no, Chance was really good, but like John Frusciante
that
really
come
did it
off
for me.
then.
John Frusciante was the one like who felt like the heart and soul of that band. His harmonies, his guitar tones, and he was a huge part of the songwriting process with Kiedis and has
And he's going
written-
to be probably.
oh,
Since he's back. Come on.
but like writing songs like Wet Sand from Stadium Arcadium, track number 13. Really good.
But what was the
And-
fourth name? And
Then I said what, Lamar, then I said
Hiatus.
Hiatus. I said the whole band. Now how you put it up on that structure is the artist's problem.
आ गया ना कैमरे में क्या रहा?
चार लोग चाहिए. Sorry यार
मैं तो नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
अच्छा, that's what's happening. Then last was Frusciante. Frusciante gets to be on board. Yeah, because
Is he back? Is he?
He is back. Let's see how it goes, because last, like after he left after Stadium Arcadium, he was basically talking about the whole RCP journey as if like I'm done with this rock BS. So I'm really not sure where he's gonna come out like with his music, because even with his solo projects and stuff, like there was one album which was called I think The Past Recedes, or is that the first song? I'm forgetting. That was the only like solo album that I would really recommend to someone else who like isn't like listening to John Frusciante, because the rest of his stuff was super like वो था मतलब जो था वो सुन के ही देखना पड़ेगा. Like what was it called? Recording Water for 10 Days. That's one of his albums, which is sort of like
Recording Water for 10
no, but it kind of feels like it, because I don't know what's going on in his head, but I think he's trying to replicate that in like so many ways. But yeah, that's it. Can we go over it once so that I can make a playlist out of this? This was Kendrick, Stevie, Hendrix, Hiatus, and
अपना
Now
John
Frusciante. ठीक है.
5.
Cool. Well, that's me.
That's actually काफी diverse मतलब ठीक है Oscar.
oh my god. That's a good one. Yeah.
तेरा बता.
यार it starts with Rahman of course.
ठीक है.
Because मतलब बचपन से वही सुन रहा हूँ. And the first is Rahman, and then Pancham Da. Like the last 2-3 years, the way he's affected, like you got me listening to him in your car, and the way he has got me like the way he has influenced my emotions and how I react to what I see and what I feel, and when I listen to music, it's just crazy. And the third is John Mayer. Since school, I was in I think 9th जब पहली बार सुना था मैंने, and yeah, 9th or 10th, I heard Battle Studies first. I heard Who Says, and then Edge of Desire. These two songs got me into the sad emo phase, yeah. And yeah, so and then the whole train starts and just never stops when you listen to John Mayer. And the fourth would be Pink Floyd, because a year and a half of my life has just been Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And moreover, all these artists, they have influenced the whole generation and they've changed things completely. I mean, R.D. Burman was ruling for 15 years, and there's a whole podcast about that also. But yeah, but the way he made
Debatable
songs,
if he was ruling or not. LP was
ruling, but
he was like
he rules my heart.
I was gonna say, in his heart.
In his heart. No, but the thing is that his catalogue of songs, it attended to and it made, it made a lot of categories of people happy. He used to compose songs for everything. And Rahman changed the game completely with his sound. And when Ilayaraja was there, he was actually ruling for 20 years, more than 20 years. Yeah. And to change that is the biggest challenge. It was the biggest challenge. And the way he did it. And of course, his melodies are the best. And
His melodies are the best.
best, yeah, of course.
सही है.
And yeah, and
Floyd
Floyd
की favorite album क्या है तेरी?
एक तो नहीं है यार. It keeps changing. I mean, जब वो एक 1.5-2 साल जो थे, मतलब पहले ये सुन रहा हूँ, एक महीने में एक एल्बम सुन रहा हूँ, ये चल रहा है, वो like every day used to be Floyd, every single day. I mean, iTunes में कंप्यूटर पे रात को मैं चला देता था एंड मैं सो रहा हूँ तब भी फ्लॉइड चल रहा है. मैं उठ रहा हूँ तो फ्लॉइड से उठ रहा हूँ. मैं जा रहा हूँ स्कूल जा रहा हूँ तो फ्लॉइड चल रहा है, वापस आके फ्लॉइड चल रहा है. इट वाज लाइक दैट.
फ्लॉइड थक गया.
फ्लॉइड भी थक गया.
So I'm assuming it's Dark Side.
Dark Side has to be the best album, yeah, but
The production.
Wish You Were Here also I love so much.
Yeah, Animals is so good.
And the Division में I love Animals also, man. Animals.
वो Animals तूने बोला ना?
Really good, yeah.
Animals is so good. The Wall, of course. I mean, Roger Waters and
Echoes के बारे में क्या कह रहे थे?
I love Echoes also, man. Fearless. I am a Liverpool fan, so yeah. Fearless was every time Liverpool used to win, I used to sing that song when I was in school. So,
Echoes.
yeah. No, not. But Echoes was I used to be scared of it. The first time I was listening, oh my god, I remember this. The first time I was listening to Echoes, तो मतलब मैं सुन रहा हूँ अकेले लेटा
No, it's still playing, right? Every time someone says the first time I listen to Echoes,
Still going
the song
on.
is actually still playing.
No, but I was listening to it अकेले रात को, light off है, bed पे लेटा हुआ हूँ, and around the 13th or the 14th mark, these wails they start, ठीक है, and I fucking ran out of the room. I was so
Shit,
scared.
you got up and ran.
Dude, I was so scared. I was like, what the hell is this?
I woke up in my sleep when I was listening to Dark Side on earphones while passing out. Like, I was sleeping and then like I flinched and I woke up. They have that. Their production was really scary.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, all of that was done on instruments, right? Echoes and all that.
No, there were a lot of things. I think they sampled a lot of things, but not everything.
उसके पास था ना वो बड़ा सा एक
वो
रैक होता था ना, इसके पास क्या नाम है इसका गिटार प्लेयर गिल्मोर.
Acha,
All those
that's
effects.
He had a thing उस वक्त, they are not available anymore.
What is that?
यार पता नहीं, I don't know. I'm not as equipped to talk about
I
it.
don't know what to talk
But
about either.
वो जो live at Pompeii जो भी है, so उसपे he does that. So
Careful with the
on the run में जब on the run Dark Side का आता है, तो he has this machine जिससे वो कर रहा है. I don't know. I mean, if someone knows what it is, then you like to
Drop it in the comments.
I think Aranya
and
has
Pink
some
Floyd से
right
मेरे को याद आया the first time we were talking like around first year I think, yeah, हम मिले थे and we were talking about what do you like, ये same Mount Rushmore वाली बात हो रही थी, क्या पसंद है तुम्हें, and when I said Pink Floyd, one thing you said really made me happy, that like there was music before Floyd and the music after Floyd.
True, that is true यार. मैं क्या बोलूँ, I mean I played in a band called Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Tribute band to Pink Floyd.
So yeah, these 4 artists. And उसके बाद मतलब Kendrick in the last decade, Kendrick has, yeah, मतलब
Smashed
he's
it.
killed it, and yeah, I've listened to him the most I think. Yeah.
Too good.
Mount Rushmore with a plateau.
अलग से एक Kendrick. अब उसमें Dennis की भी add हो गया है धीरे last year से. Yeah.
I feel bad about mine though. I have more names to add to it.
There are
Of course there are more names.
Like,
man.
it's bothering me right now because I'm thinking of them and I was like, yeah,
So let's not discuss. Let's not think about it.
Fine. Go for it.
Go for
Chalo,
it.
Let's see
Sharma.
what you got.
Yeah, so Mount Rushmore मेरे 5 होंगे, 4 नहीं होंगे.
ठीक है.
ठीक है भैया.
I have put people who I think have changed music altogether. Like उन्होंने like, and I am not going back in history or time कि मैं, I mean I could have chosen Bach or someone else, but नहीं, because मैंने उतना स्टडी भी नहीं किया, उनको उतना सुना भी नहीं, सुना तो है but इतना स्टडी नहीं किया. So the first name would be Jaco. John Francis Anthony Pastorius the third.
Namaskar.
Just because what he is the Hendrix of bass players. The only difference is that in his head he was practicing more than Hendrix. Like Hendrix was more about, you know, his story, right? I mean, style, story, anger.
Hendrix was naturally gifted also to quite an extent.
But this guy broke his arm, shifted from drums to bass. And then since 13, 14 he's been playing bass. At 18, 19 he's meeting people randomly and saying that I'm the greatest bass player in the world.
Man, he went Zaminul and said that.
And then he proved it. He just didn't.
And then he played and I don't know what?
Like anyone who's met him at that point in time, like the greatest of the greats, from John McLaughlin to Zabinul to Cannonball Adderley. I don't think he met Cannonball, but like everyone heard of him. And in fact, they wrote a song. His first song was also Cannonball with Weather Report.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he took bass to a different level only, like an instrument which is supposed to only help music. Like it's supposed to be like piche. It's not supposed
to be felt more than heard.
Like in his documentary, someone talks about how Jaco had the ability to help the diamond shine and also become the diamond. Like if music is like the diamond, then he would shine it with his bass playing and then also become the diamond. Like he'll become the show. And like his showmanship.
Oh man, the powder
laga ke moonwalk kar raha hai stage par. I mean, no one had done that in the jazz front. On the jazz front and jazz
people used to play upright like before this, like electric bass.
Before
I think,
electric, he used to play upright.
But that also has to do with the fact that he was working in a generation where everyone was moving from like traditional jazz to jazz fusion, funk, and the fact that he had worked so hard to get. He knew everything about everything that you need to know about bass. He knew everything about all kinds of music, and he was not just influenced by blues and funk and R&B. He was also influenced by Afro-Cuban beats. He was also influenced by Latin. And then he studied Bach. Every time you pose a challenge in front of him, like someone told him that tune Bach nahi pada. He's like, screw you, I'm going to study Bach. Someone told him that teko padhna nahi aata music. And he went ahead and studied that too. So just, I mean, encompassing that all and then making bass popular. Like, it is because of him that it became popular in Europe, Japan, or rest of the world. People would go to a concert in Japan just to see Jaco. And that kind of fame no one else had. Then Jaco, then I have to talk about Herbie Hancock. Because he is probably the most stable musician from that era.
Yeah.
Like either
definitely.
Decades of just being there.
Just concentrate. I think he's like the opposite of what his contemporary in this guy Chick Corea was.
Okay.
Like, Chick Corea was like at it, constantly. He was at it, but there was so much more style, and which is his own style, which is like the African American or black or colored, whatever you want to call it, the music, the form, and kept doing this so many albums
from time to time.
Exactly, man. He moved on, and kept his thinking and his head sorted. When everyone's into drugs, he's like, okay, I have to do this. Like, but he had his face with everything. Then he came out of it. Then he got into writing music with so many people. He used to curate. He used to curate gigs all over the country and help someone like Neville Brothers जो थे जो वहाँ पे South में. I mean, he used to curate gigs for so many people, and the fact that he is like just the most sorted keyboard player for generations.
Yeah. He pioneered when the electronic instruments and everything was coming, the synths and all that. He was leading it. Yeah, he was the pioneer.
Absolutely, one generation after the other. You can see. Even though, I mean, I would still say that I know much more guitar players or keyboard players who had better sense of patches.
Okay, yeah.
But that is a problem with jazz. I feel like jazz fusion ka problem is that unke keyboard patches, like they're more about, dude, I'll take the worst keyboard patch
and then make it
play the best,
play the greatest stuff.
Yeah.
But even then, I prefer his patches over Chick Corea's patches.
Yeah.
Why?
Agreed.
Why
Yeah,
would you
because
say that?
I think Chick Corea was
वो plastic है ना jazz.
Very thin patches.
patches. क्योंकि ना क्या सीन है, तो you can hear the fact that okay, Chick Corea is trying to say something. He's like कि मैं गंदा patch ही लूँगा. or probably at that point in time when the technology was coming in, he thought that this is शायद वही available
This
था.
is new, so this must
new
be
cool.
like
Yeah.
hip.
Even though Chick Corea, I think is much more prodigious
Yeah.
than
Of course.
Herbie Hancock.
For sure.
Because, I mean, there was a concert where they both
Oh yeah.
were there, and it's pretty visible. कि one of the guys is more about feel, and the other guy is more about
Chick Corea is more skill and Herbie is more music.
skill. Is also music only in a way.
It's about
I mean, Herbie is more feel. Herbie is what I
More
think
music.
we are all attracted to more.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
funk,
Yeah.
R&B,
I listen
soul,
more of Herbie
gospel.
only than Chick Corea.
Man, what is that album which is basically random access memory?
Memories. I have it.
It's
Crush nahi.
No.
Trust.
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 Nahi, trust nahi. Not
Nahi.
trust.
No.
Not trust at all.
That
Mine don't.
Got the sepia tone album.
Lavishi's party, we were listening to it for the first time.
I'll tell you guys.
Fine. We'll put it in the link.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. But it's वही.
Yeah.
Like he did something in 70s which became popular back again in 30 years.
Yeah.
So he was the man for the future. And then it has to be, we have to discuss and talk about John Mayer because he's just like, even though Joni Mitchell, Carole King, there's so many other songwriters, Sting ho gaya, there's so many other songwriters, man. Like genuine James Taylor ho gaya. There's songwriters who are like they made songwriting what it is, but then John Mayer, it just cut above the rest. He plays so well, and I mean I think
He's the best, bro. He's the best.
Genius writing, maybe putting his thoughts across.
Composing में, oh, everything, bro. Guitar playing.
And I think
25 minutes.
मुझे but I feel like Theo Katzman उसकी बराबरी का है.
is there.
I
But
would
then-
actually prefer him personally.
But arrangement there.
Man,
I know. I love Theo Katzman.
The thing is, have you heard Theo's new album that he
Yeah,
just
man. I
released?
listened yesterday.
So really good.
Oh man.
Yeah,
But
dude,
for me,
bro,
Theo would
it's
be
amazing.
like, if there are top five guys, then Theo would be second or third or fourth.
Okay.
But in terms of
Theo
singer
ऐसे नहीं
songwriters.
लगता Theo घर का लड़का है और John Mayer लगता है वो John Mayer sir. It's like that.
Yeah,
Theo
Theo
के
घर का लड़का लगता है
That's
bro.
because Theo doesn't portray himself like
Yeah,
John Mayer.
बनियान में आना, बहुत गंजे हो रहा.
the person.
You also have to understand that John Mayer came into like the limelight right post that,
when he was like growing up.
and it was like a post grunge
Yeah.
pop era. Britney
Yeah.
Spears and all these guys were there.
Nobody gets the vibe.
And the thing is, he cut across all of that. So now Theo Katzman can be himself because John Mayer went through that shit. Like if there was no John Mayer, there wouldn't be a guitar player, songwriter, which would be like, okay, who else? Like, who's that guy? वो कौन है यार?
Thomas.
I'm gonna make it mine.
Jason Mraz.
Jason Mraz.
But
He's also very good. but I'm
But
saying
he's got into musicals and all that.
Yeah,
no?
ballad,
Theatre writing.
ballad
and-
writing.
he's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of it fizzled out, right? But
फिर ना he stopped
He changed
making it
paths,
down.
bro.
like
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake and all, I mean they're there, but Justin would be more about dancing. This guy was out and out. I'm gonna make music, and I think in a lot of ways we शायद 10 साल बाद हमको realize होगा कि जॉन मेयर कितना बड़ा influence था बाकी सारी generation पे.
No,
He's-
absolutely.
Like the fact that there is a damn good looking, because that generation was about good looking people.
ये वाली भी.
Damn good looking guitar player, virtuoso.
And a greatest songwriter.
मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा बोल दिया. I like to come back to the topic. R.D. Burman, because of all that he said, and then again, the only Indian composer to have put harmony, rhythm, melody put together, 20-30 years done music, and then again worked from different genres to different genres, always evolved, never stopped. At his time, everyone was working with Indian instruments, Indian things. Everyone was like, okay, go Indian. This guy's like, no man, I'm gonna go Latin, I'm gonna go jazz, I'm gonna go funk, I'm gonna rock. And even though he would not probably have understood their music, by there I mean Western music, itna intricately, but I think that was the start of us appreciating like a guitar player, like dum dum da 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 da, and it cut across boundaries. Like it's like he was like cricket. Like I mean, if you're from Tamil Nadu, you don't know Hindi, but you still appreciate Panchamda. If you're from Kashmir, which is, I don't know, I mean, Vrnda knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate.
I mean,
Appreciate.
I'm saying from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, everyone fucking loves it.
Yeah, we got.
My mom.
And then I would like to add one more name to this, which is Charlie Parker.
Of course. Knew it.
Easy money.
what he did to you, not no, just the music. I think he, in a lot of ways, made it what it is with Bebop, and in a lot of ways, he also made it so difficult for everyone else. Like, he is a guy who comes in and says, okay, put all of your swing behind me. Now it's called Bebop. Like, what is Bebop? He's like, this is Bebop. I don't know. I wouldn't know if a good Bebop musician उससे पहले. Oscar Peterson उससे पहले था. Dizzy Gillespie उससे पहले था. But he made like he.
Bebop, what it is.
Crowd आता था उसको देखने. कि oh fuck, Charlie Parker बजा रहा है.
So the showmanship was also.
Everything was spot on, man, and just the fact that like the first time I heard him, I was like, ये क्या है भाई? Like I remember I was 14 or 15 probably. यार ये बजाना है यार, ये क्या हो रहा है? And I'm still like, यार ये क्या हो रहा है? And I think that dexterity is, in fact, dexterity is one of his songs as well. But the fact is that he changed music forever. Like, he came in and then everyone was like, okay, Bebop. Okay, I have to learn Bebop to learn or play jazz. And then Bebop led to Miles Davis, Coltrane. Everyone quotes Charlie Parker.
But
as
Miles Davis wrote a lot of Charlie Parker tunes also.
He does.
Like Donnelly also
did.
Miles Davis. Donnelly भी Miles Davis ने लिखा था और एक और दो तीन और गाने पर.
The thing is, he was his understudy. So Miles Davis used to study under him.
Oh.
Miles Davis को देखना है यार, मेरे को आपके साथ बजाना है. वो भाई साहब ने बोला कि ठीक है बजा लो. Dizzy तो जा रहा है. Dizzy wanted to do something else. उनकी लड़ाई भी हो गई थी शायद कुछ ऐसा कुछ है. And then Miles Davis was understudy. Then he worked under him. Then he's like, okay, Charlie Parker is gone. कुछ berserk. I'd like to move on to make my own thing. Then Miles Davis started a band, and then he invited people. He invited Herbie Hancock. He invited Chick Corea, Cannonball Adderley, and all of these guys. And then उससे फिर bands बने. People are like, okay, Miles Davis is done. I would like to make my own band. कोई जाके अपना Herbie Hancock बना रहा है, कोई जाके electric band बजा रहा है. तो तुम देख रहे हो उससे Genesis शुरुआत सारी इधर से.
And if you think about it, like अगर वो recording वाला scene नहीं होता, I think the prohibition on the recording वाला thing, then more of Charlie Parker's music would have been out here.
True. And
I think one of the greatest, like the peak of his phase, I think.
But वही, I mean, Branford Marsalis करके एक musician है, वो यही बोलता है कि the problem with that generation also is that they all used to say that we are the greatest and you know we are this and we are that. But the thing is, let people say that. I would say that about jazz कि I think जैसे अब हम बोल रहे हैं कि चार्ली पार्कर है. I think चार्ली पार्कर ने तो कभी नहीं बोला, but ऐसा है कि unfortunately there is a taboo attached to
the arrogance, the thing.
है. Taboo, the tabassum. But I think Mount Rushmore is done. Even though we have many more. अच्छा, just off the top of your head. Special mentions.
Hendrix. But I think I've already I didn't mention him. But
Someone who's not on our list. ऐसा कुछ है?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, I need a minute to think. Like,
ठीक है.
Think.
Off the top of your head बोलो.
Level 42, Mark King.
Level 42.
Theo Katzman, यार कोई डाल नहीं. अच्छा, but you put him on the list now. Okay, fine. Joe Dart then. Joe Dart. Come on, Joe Dart. Special mention. Yes.
None of us said Wolfpack though.
I think Wolfpack
is a common.
Rushmore के लिए अलग है.
Mount Rushmore.
हाँ, he's right.
Rushmore के लिए अलग है. Rushmore में थोड़ा और मतलब it has to be like something a little more historic.
हाँ, institutionalized.
At least that's where I was coming from.
Institutionalized.
Like
level 42.
Joe Dart.
Joe Dart
has to be up there.
Tar of Far. And David Garibaldi.
Yes.
David Garibaldi, man.
Are you getting body?
And Tapar, blacks, Latin musicians, whites, everyone like
coming together and to create the most tightest.
Only one band before that.
Playing the straightest group ever.
Sly Stone. Shrey has mentioned Cory Wong.
Mr. Cory Wong.
Special mention. I mean, these are like you're predicting with Cory Wong and Joe Dart. You're predicting.
Yeah.
Cory Wong would be a very good band, but in any case, with Cory Wong, you're predicting. He said it. You're predicting he'll be the next. I think, yeah, man. He is just. He's the. Who's that guitar player? Sheikah.
Oh man.
He's the Nile Rodgers.
Nile Rodgers, David Williams. फिर ये है. This is the Holy
Sure,
Trinity.
sure.
Holy Trinity for guitars.
Honorable mentions, guys.
Jack Stratton, yeah. Jack
Honorable
Again,
mention.
one of the greats, Fats Waller.
Fats Waller.
Again, because of his stride, piano and
बस तुम piano की बातें करो.
Fat Swallow.
So
ठीक है,
piano-
अच्छी
Fats
बात है,
Waller
ठीक है, अच्छी
सही
बात
है.
मैं ठीक है,
And
allowed
more.
more.
Chicoria, guys. I mean,
Chicoria.
Yeah,
I've never.
Chicoria.
Bhagutula है नहीं यहाँ पे.
Never like-
हाँ.
I've never
Aditya
been
was
into
here.
Korea.
Yeah,
I've-
but-
Acha, let's take a minute.
If Bhagutula was here, he would have said Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, Big Papa.
Gangsta.
I mean Biggie.
Oh man.
Acha, let's predict Aditya's top 5.
I can do that.
So Biggie.
Dave Eccles.
हाँ,
Dave
Dave
Eccles.
Eccles.
Biggie.
Electric Band. Biggie नहीं.
Definitely Biggie.
No,
bro.
Lamar.
Dre, bro.
Not
पहले
Biggie,
तो
not Biggie.
Dre.
NWA.
NWA.
First is Dave Eccles across the board. Any suggestions?
No,
Dave
Dave
Eccles.
Eccles.
Dave Eccles for sure.
Dave Eccles Band.
फिर
Electric
yeah.
Band.
Electric Band, हाँ. No, he'll say Electric Band. He
Electric
won't
Band.
even say.
Herbie
Chicoria.
Hancock also he'll say. Thrust. He loves that.
No. Not Herbie.
But more than Dr. Dre.
कहेगा bro.
Dr. Dre, man.
Now Dre has to come in.
Electric Band. पहला क्या था? Dave Eccles.
Dave Eccles.
Dr. Dre. NWA भी but NWA नहीं.
NWA, he'll say Dre and he'll wrap it up. He'll wrap it up with that.
Biggie भी नहीं.
Then he'll say Lamar.
Biggie, यार.
I feel
Lamar,
like
Lamar.
Lamar तो आएगा इसमें. And then
पांचवा
Money Beats कहाँ से आती है?
Two Ton Chew.
No
नहीं,
Snoop.
नहीं.
No Snoop.
Snoop, they'll club it all together in the Dre bit because they all work together. No.
Death Row now Hasbro.
ठीक है. So we've also predicted Aditya Shakur. अच्छा ठीक है. I think
चार हुए.
Chazin का कोशी से पूछ लेना.
Justin Timberlake. That's
Michael Jackson.
JT.
Jackson,
And
JT,
Shrey
MJ.
has also said Baba Cycle, for which
Baba
we would like to say that अब से रोहन तू आ bro हमारी वीडियोस बनाने. And Baba Cycle का honorable
But
mention.
guys, Vrnda's honorable mention. Honorable.
Ella Fitzgerald when she scats. When she scats.
Ella Fitzgerald
When
बस
she
बोल दिया
scats.
तूने हम लोग चुप हो गए.
When she scats.
She is the Mount Rushmore of
Wasn't
rohन.
that a first album song?
What?
When She Scats.
I was actually predicting the future for
That is
us.
a French thing.
अच्छा नहीं वो मैं नहीं.
But I think
There's some
guys, any other honorable mention? कुछ भी अगर तुम बोल रहे हो.
Let me
Yeah,
also see.
we need
Cause-
to-
Mount Rushmore.
Anu Malik can be.
Anwar bhai.
If it's like, I mean, it's like searching for Uber.
फिर तो साजिद वाजिद भी कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, who's saying Chingy, he also deserves.
Oh my
Sukwinder.
God.
Shout out.
Bobby,
Bobby Caldwell.
exactly.
But Bobby Caldwell only has one album.
Yeah, I
which
know,
is like,
I know.
He has more albums, but like seven
that
albums.
one album is like
What do you want to do for love?
Yeah.
What do you want to do for love, guys?
that song is
ऐसे लोग तो guys बहुत हैं I think.
so
ऐसे बहुत सारे
funny.
लोग.
Musicians बहुत सारे हैं.
वेदर रिपोर्ट नहीं बोला bro.
चाको बोल दिया
Oh
यार.
my God,
But
Weather
Gavin-
Report.
Gavin
Yes,
Harrison.
Gavin
Weather Report has
Gavin
to
Harrison,
be a special
come on.
mention.
But then, yeah,
Weather Report
I mean,
is it.
Seal Wilson for me.
I mean, it would be a cardinal sin to not mention
Weather
Weather
Report.
Report.
Report, how
Like,
can we
obviously.
not?
for me, the greatest band of all time. But ठीक है.
Amazing.
Also, like I've started listening to a lot of Billy Joel.
And I was hired gun and I'm
Amazing song.
just sad.
Feelings.
Billy Joel, you might hate Billy Joel, but
I don't
You
hate
might
Billy
love
Joel.
him
I think
also.
Might love him also.
you must. Dunkirk?
No, I
Dunkirk?
didn't
Christopher Nolan?
Tenet.
Is he playing piano now?
कर लेगा भाई.
say that.
Oh, I know Bhagutula's fifth name.
Fifth. Bhagutula's fifth.
Oznoi.
The Pata.
Osnoy.
Oznoi.
I'm telling
the
you.
Israeli guitar player. Damn
good.
damn
Too
good
good.
guitar player. You should check out
Fought in the
Oznoi.
army too.
But then Oznoi mentioned
yeah, I
करो,
can
and
be
there,
if you mention Oznoi, it will be again a cardinal sin to not mention Schofield. John Schofield,
Yeah.
guys.
John Scofield.
Institute after institute after institute of guitar playing.
Yeah.
And managing your own identity among the so many genres of jazz.
Seriously.
If you describe him like that, but what about Alan Holdsworth? Like, how would you describe him?
Alan Holdsworth होगा bro. आदित्य का पांचवा.
Yeah, I would like to reserve my comments about Alan Holdsworth because he's the greatest. One of the greatest.
Okay, guys.
Thank you so much. I don't want to end on this.
What about BB King?
BB?
I think the list will just.
Let's.
But then if you've mentioned John,
Mount Rushmore,
if
Mount
you've
Everest.
mentioned John Mayer, BB King is part of his repertoire, isn't it?
उल्टा नहीं बोलना चाहिए. नहीं अच्छा हाँ rap.
I mean,
his
अगर तो
repertoire
respect देना
obviously.
चाहता तो yes, BB King for sure.
Special mention में तो
Special mention.
सर आ सकते हैं नहीं ऐसी बात नहीं है.
He's the Kanchenjunga. But I think that's about it. Guys, if you think there are more, you can add more. But अच्छा इंडिया से हमने ज़्यादा लिए नहीं.
Indian
क्यों?
Man,
Indian
Zakir Hussain, El Shankar for me, because I have been growing up listening to them, and since I'm a Ghatam player also, so Vikku Vinayak Ram, he changed everything.
Trilok Gurtu, bro.
Trilok Gurtu also as a percussionist, and he's not in India anymore, मतलब वो कम ही आते हैं.
But सारे percussionists ही अच्छे हैं और कोई अच्छे नहीं है.
Yeah, I really like Ehsan
मैंने बोला
but not only for his SEL stuff. Also his Instagram personally. I really like his Instagram.
Cutest.
You know, oh my God. Speaking of Instagram, Mark Lettieri.
Mark
Lettieri
in the future.
नहीं Mark Lettieri का Instagram आज की डेट में मतलब
Honorable mention
पत्रों में
Mark
उसकी
Lettieri.
शक्ल डाल सकते हो.
Honorable mention Snarky Puppy. No one.
We should have a whole podcast about best
Yeah.
Instagram handles.
Seriously.
Guys, the honorable mention is इतना बड़ा हो गया.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We have feelings. We can't help
But
it.
thank you so
In
much,
our
guys. If you think there are more.
Fade to black.
There's too many things.
Oh, that
Metallica.
means Shrey Fade to Black, but Metallica also. Metallica, great.
नहीं Dire Straits का भी गाना है वैसे.
अच्छा था.
Dire Straits.
उनका drummer
Knopfler.
best है.
Oh man.
Mark Knopfler. I think that's what. Bye.